Hello and welcome. The show is Keeping Connected with Trevor Crow After Hours. I am Trevor Crow, and this is the show where we get to ask a panel of very smart, articulate women and men some provocative questions. So tonight I've got sitting next to me David Bravo, Kim Nichols, Brad Kimmelman, Randy Lerman, Brianna Rhodes, and Nick Spielberg. Okay, so here's the question. You're in a committed relationship, you're madly in love with this person, you've been together for, say, 3-6 years, something like that, and your partner comes up to you one day and says, I have to tell you something. This is really tough. I hate to tell you this. It's awful, but I had a fling. And what do you do with that information? I mean, there's a few ways to look at this, and I'm going to throw it over to the panel. Would it be better not to know at all? Would you rather know? Would you end it there and then? Would you work on it? How would you take that information? Who wants to start?
I'd want to know.
You'd want to know.
Because if you were madly in love with someone, I would hate for them to live with that lie, tearing them down day after day. That would be the end of you anyway, if you don't.
That would be painful. So you're feeling compassion for the other person. Would you feel jealous and angry as a result?
Probably both. Yeah.
Kim?
I'd want to know. I'd be very jealous and angry, and I don't know how long that would last. But I would rather find out when it happened, or close to when it happened, than years down the line and really feel betrayed.
Yeah, I hear you. Brad?
Don't need to know.
You don't want to know?
Don't need to know.
Don't
necessarily feel betrayed. Again, it boils down to, was it a one-night stand? Was there names exchanged?
Emotional connection.
Was there an emotional connection? That would be a betrayal.
Aren't you uncomfortable? All right, never mind.
No, please.
The non-emotional part freaks me out the most. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, aren't flings usually not all that emotional? Maybe there's an
That's the
excitement
definition
about
of
a fling.
Yeah.
I think I'll have my encyclopedia.
There's probably an
all
underlying
the-
emotional
I'm missing
reason they're having a
everything.
fling. Like there's
I gotta go to
something
Club
wrong
Med.
that they're taking the step to go out of their way to cheat on you. That's an emotional problem with them. So it's definitely emotional.
That's
I mean, they don't necessarily have an emotional connection with that person, but they've got an
I
emotional
don't
deep connection
necessarily
with
agree.
themselves.
Or, okay, would you want to know? And you'd still say it's over?
Yes,
I
I
wanna
want to know. No, I
Uh-huh.
would not be jealous, but I would be very angry. There's not, what's there to be jealous of? Like, oh, you slept with this person this one night when you've been with me. Your problem. It's not me, it's you.
And it's over.
And it's done.
And it's done.
Bye. Very
Randy?
cold-hearted.
I would want to know so I could utilize it in my arsenal of warfare. I'm a lawyer by trade, so I would want to have that piece of information. So if I screw up, remember,
Right?
just say.
Would this be part of a divorce proceeding? And by
Or
the
a
way,
hall
I knew that
pass.
he had
What?
one. Like,
You get a free hall pass.
Well, it's always good to, but I would want to know as opposed to being blindsided years from now. And I'd be angry, I'd be jealous.
yeah.
Because,
And Nick?
Perhaps I don't have as much experience as some other people, but I would think you have to respect the other person's decision. So yes, to know, and then cut it off.
No, and then the
What are we
follow-up.
cutting off?
Cutting off, you're done. The fling? Or the...
Won't get that out in the public again.
The relationships. All right,
not
here's
getting
the follow-up to this question, which is, what if one of your best friends, you caught her husband or his wife, whatever it is, partner, cheating? Do you tell that person?
Oh,
Now, did you catch them in the bed?
I guess.
No matter how you
how would
catch
you be
them,
Being the other
Big
person.
brother party, right?
Being the other person, there you go. Oh,
if you're their friend, you tell them the
You
truth.
tell them the truth.
That's trust and friendship. So if you keep, I just saw your husband out in public smooching with somebody else, and you're at home taking care of the kids, and I don't tell you, I'm withholding. I'm
No, you're a
massively
tattletale.
withholding something. No, but I'm like for the friend. That's my friend. The husband
Yeah.
is not my
You
friend.
would-
Yeah, but
My
usually
friend
friends
is
are
my friend.
closer to the one they're making love with than the friend. So, when a man loves a woman, that song, you gotta tread lightly.
However, in Fairfield County, there's lots of dirty little secrets. And
You don't really
Tell
see best
us.
friends sleeping
But you
with
wouldn't
the
be
husband.
surprised. But you wouldn't be surprised if the person knows and is purposely turning a blind eye. It's very hard sometimes to get involved in those dynamics because you don't know everything. So I agree with you, but sometimes you got to exercise a little caution. Just as people get older,
I don't know if
better
anybody
them
saw
than me.
this movie, the recent movie Blue Jasmine by Woody Allen. It seemed like the entire city knew this woman was being cheated on, and nobody said a word to her. No.
No, you gotta open your mouth. If that's
Okay.
your friend, you gotta open your mouth.
And I think you also have to be prepared, though, for especially for women. I'm sorry, that your best friend might not want to hear the information from you,
Yeah.
and might not speak to you for a couple years. But I'd feel better about having.
But
told
then you
her.
have to wonder
Yeah.
why they're your friend if you're gonna go to them with the truth that you found out, and you're trying to help them out, and they're like, I don't want to speak to you. Okay.
Murder the messenger.
Some people don't want to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people really would rather not know.
Yeah.
And Nick, would you tell your best friend if you saw his
Well,
girlfriend cheating on him?
We don't talk about love. We just talk about so clinically sex this, sex no.
Nick,
Well, I'm not
got
allowed
a
to say
little
that.
emotional connection.
If it's a best friend knows everything, you know?
So this is a situation where you would say, hey, look, to your friend, your girlfriend's cheating on you. This is
Yeah.
it.
I would say that.
Would you give
He
him
will be
emotional
depressed.
support?
He'll be for 3 years.
3 years
but then-
depressed.
That's standard, isn't it?
Standard 3 years.
He
Okay.
knows, he knows this
Got
friend
it.
very
Long
well.
time.
And you're giving him emotional support during the 3 years? Or no?
As much beer as he can drink.
I've never known a guy to take 3 years to get over anything.
Yeah.
Oh.
But all right, I'm a sensitive guy. 6
yeah.
months.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I think we've had some good responses to a lot of these very interesting questions and sometimes tricky ones, because what do you do if you do find out your friend's better half or not better half is cheating on them? Do you tell the truth? Would you actually want to know if your spouse had a one-night stand? And if so, when? And what would you do with that information? And, these are all questions that come up in Fairfield County a lot. And being a therapist, I get to see a lot of it in the room. And I've actually seen it happen, that a relationship can be deeper and better and longer lasting and wonderful getting through that kind of a crisis. But we have a little of everything on the panel, and that's what makes this really exciting. So we want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we want you to like us on Facebook and tell us your opinion and your thoughts and add some questions, because we like to discuss all sorts of interesting questions up here, and we'd love to get yours. So stay tuned. We have a lot more panels, and this is Trevor Crow with Keeping Connected After Hours.